Welcome back. We are talking about Carrie Chapman Catt. She was Susan B. Anthony's handpicked successor to continue with the women's NAWSA president, and she was, after the passage of the 19th Amendment, the one who formed the League of Women's Voters. She set the stage for the final push. She basically moved to Washington, D.C., and went out and lobbied and harassed our the legislators and got them to understand that they weren't fooling around anymore and they deserved and needed the right to vote. This is Janet Rankin. She was the first woman elected to the House of Representatives in 1916 from Montana. Remember, I told you the western states allowed the women to vote, so she could vote for herself. And she ended up in Washington in 1916. 16 towns in Florida passed laws granting equal suffrage to women before the 19th Amendment, but that was it. The state of Florida would not, as a state, even pass the Equal Suffrage Act. So it was passed in the Senate, failed in the House. It was kind of one of those things that you're talking old Florida, 1900s. Nobody in their right mind wanted to live in Florida in 1900. So it's just the way it was. This is a picture in 1917, picketing in front of the White House. Woodrow Wilson was the president. Woodrow Wilson was totally against women's suffrage. He had them thrown in jail, and they ended up with the movie Iron Jaw Angels, where they force fed the women because they went on a hunger strike. It was a pretty ugly time in the history. It was, I guess, a necessary act to get over the hump, but what those ladies went through should never have happened. Mrs. Lewis Edgar Lewis was also GFWC president. She was from Fort Pierce. She was the first person in the state of Florida as a club woman to start pushing women's suffrage. She did it at both conventions. And she presided in the 24th convention in Daytona in 1918, pushing for women's suffrage. GFWC was involved a little bit. They didn't believe in protests. They didn't believe in marches, that women didn't do that. We should be a little bit higher above. We write nice flowery letters. Well, needless to say, that didn't work, but it sounded good. Um, Again, only 17 of the GFWC state federations voted to support suffrage. So, as you can tell, there was even a debate and a battle among women in the General Federation of Women's Clubs whether or not we deserved the right to vote. Anna Pennypacker actually got a resolution through in June of 1914, and that's pretty much about all GFWC did was pass a resolution, which I'm not sure what that was supposed to accomplish. I don't think it accomplished much, but okay, whatever. They did publish a lot of suffrage information in the Women's Club magazine for the club women to try and keep them informed. And they passed that resolution in 1914. Um, it was a nice resolution, but I'm not sure what it accomplished. Whoa, I just took off. Hang on, folks. I'm sorry about this. I don't know about you. I hate technical stuff. Um, Slideshow. The big thing was that it was passed in the House and the Senate for women's suffrage. You needed 2/3 of the states to agree. 2/3 of the states came through by Tennessee being the last state to vote. Mr. Thomas Byrne was 21 years old. He was a new representative, and he decided to cast the deciding vote. His mom wrote him a letter asking him to do that for all women involved. 19th Amendment granted 26 million women the right to vote. And as you can see, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have the power to enforce the article by appropriate language. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great night. Get it all in.